Two girls in a Yorkshire village borrow a camera and decide to fool their parents. What begins as a childhood joke escalates into one of the strangest hoaxes of the early 20th century. And the two girls at the centre of it all could only watch as their bit of childish mischief grew larger and larger, until even Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, became involved. But how did something so small go so far? To understand how two young girls found themselves behind history's strangest hoax, we have to begin not with the famous photographs, but with a very ordinary family argument. One afternoon, Elsie borrowed her father's camera, and the girls went back down to the beck. And when the plate was later developed, their parents were astonished, because something appeared in front of Francis. The camera had apparently recorded the impossible. From our modern perspective, it's easy to laugh, to glance at the photograph and say, well, obviously it isn't real. But we are looking at that image after more than a century of special effects and digital illusions. But the kind of lie they understood was technical, achieved by a skilled adult photographer manipulating the image in the studio or darkroom. Cameras themselves were still widely viewed as objective, seen almost as scientific tools for capturing reality, machine-made witnesses that did not dream, exaggerate, or invent. But two young girls, using a basic consumer-grade camera? Francis and Elsie were not trained photographers, and yet somehow they had produced an image that appeared to show something impossible. And with that second photograph, the strange little story from Cottingley became much harder to ignore. This is where the story turns, because the photographs did not enter a world determined to disprove them. They entered a world that was already waiting for them. But to many spiritual seekers of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, fairies were not just decorations for children's stories. They were evidence of something larger, something hidden. In that kind of room, fairies were not silly. Fairies were possible. Gardner was an important figure in theosophical circles, and when he heard about the Cottingley photographs, he did not treat them as a joke. To Gardner, and others like him, the images seemed to confirm a belief they already held. That the unseen world was not imagination. The fairies had simply been waiting at the edge of the garden, and now, at last, the camera had caught them.